I know. I said I wasn't going to do it again, but here we are. I'm going to do it again. Mont Ventoux. But today is just a chill ride. I will enjoy the views and just tap up to the top. And I've noticed my heart rate's not there on screen, so I have to pair that. So ETA, maybe 2 hours, aiming for 180 to 200 watts. Hopefully that's a chill ride. I will call this one active recovery from yesterday. Because that hurt a lot. And I was... having to recover last night a lot. I was done. That cooked me. Totally cooked it. Anyhow, hope everyone is well. On the Stages bike today. So we'll take the Stages bike up. What have we got? Tons of water. Didn't drink enough yesterday. Somebody in the chat pointed out I wasn't drinking enough. They were absolutely spot on. But by the time I was dehydrated, you can't do much about it. You can't start swigging a ton of water. Anyhow, it's all good. So 4 drink bottles next to me now. Plus a coffee. It's a chill ride. I'll be in chat today. I will be much more articulate. Less sweary. Not that I swore a lot yesterday. In less pain. And hopefully I'm able to answer any questions people have on anything. Trainers, tech, bikes. 30 seconds to go. Oh. Not getting nervous for this one. But I do have to pair my heart rate monitor. Quick. A for that. Boom! How fast was that? Rock and roll. We're good. So I scored the front row for this one. I was pretty happy with that. Hang with Shane ride. That's it. That's absolutely it. I think it was it 2.6 watts a kilo will get us up in 2 hours, I think. Okay, so there goes my awesome positioning right away. I'm done. I'm at the back. I'm recording this one on some Asiomas and the Stages bike at the same time, so it's a data collection ride. One on 200 yet, we're good. Attack. And I have the climbing shifter now on the Stages bike, which I'll cover in my future videos on the Stages bike. Puts the changes right here with my thumb. So you'll be able to see that on screen now. Do. Happy days. Just using a standard configuration for the virtual gearing. I may switch over to Dream Drive later on. And I have put this up to 100% trainer realism because I should have enough gearing on this bike. Oh. The starts always get me. Ventoux. I should have called this one Ventoux squared or something. Oh, the music's cutting out. Oh, sorry, I will change that up. I need something in the background. I hate things being too quiet. Just let me know if the music's too loud. Oh! Gears, please. Half as many people today. It's day 2, so I expect most people would have jumped on yesterday and done this one. No copyright dubstep track music. That's not really chill. We kind of need chill music. I'm going to hit play all. I use Bass Rebels on YouTube for my background stuff. We'll see how that goes. Tim, answer the question on the gearing I'm running. Hopefully the music is okay now. If it's too soft, let me know. Too loud, let me know. Possibly too soft. I just need some kind of noise there. Gearing on the bike. I'm running a 3450 virtual on the front and a 1033 virtual on the back, or the virtual back, which should be enough for the hill coming up, I hope. If not, I can quickly switch to Dream Drive by doing this. Whee! And I have more gears than I ever need. So you can see their Dream Drive. It's effectively a one by with, I wouldn't say an infinite number of gears. It is kind of I'd expect that to be more of a straight line rather than that, the steps you can see right there. Probably better on this screen. There's bigger jumps with the bigger gears than the small ones. I mean, gear 47 to 49, you're probably not going to be able to feel that. Whew. How's the heart rate? No. Today's chill. Today's a chill ride. Yeah, I'll see if I'll try and remember to leave it in Dream Drive. We'll see how it goes, but having the climbing shifter right here, you can see I can press and hold. It'll drop down a few. That is really cool. Stage's bike does not go up and down and has no movement at all. It's super tight, so I will need to be out of the saddle a bit today. So I have to remind myself to do that, or it's going to be very uncomfortable. Keep the noise down, I'm still in bed. Alright, where are we? I'll be slowly dropping back through the field with these kind of watts. I'm not aiming to hold any position or anything today. Active recovery. I think Dream Drive's going to help me out there. Ed Laverick yesterday, his climb of this, brilliant effort. If you want to see what it takes to be right at the front of one of these, have a look at Ed Laverick's stream from yesterday. Absolutely flying. Yeah, Tobin, the shift buttons, they're too close together on the thumb. You can feel them, but they're not clickety-clack. I think I've said in another stream, it's like pressing a banana. Oh, a green screen affected banana. And there's no tactile feedback. There's no click-click through the outside padding of them either. Hands down, the kicker bike still wins for levers and shifters on all the smart bikes that I've tried. But there's nothing stopping them from updating these. These aren't bad, they're just different. Whereas the kicker bike, which is next to me, is just like my road bike. Though hats off to Stages though for being the first one to bring out accessories, which is the climbing shifter. All the other bikes have capabilities for add-ons, but nobody's released any yet. So Stages have them already, which is good. Alright, where are we? We're in the zone. We're good. We're good. There's different smoothing on the Stages app too. So they'll be close, but they will probably never be the same. I am dual recording. Is the Suto a good trainer? It's good for where it is. It's a mid-range trainer. Lower to mid-range. Direct drive trainer. One of the first trainers out of the box from Elite that has a cassette and the leg's already on it. You can just pull it out of the box and ride it. Early on, the very first batch of them had a few issues with wobbly flywheels. I believe they're all sorted. There's a number of happy people out there with Sweetos. It's the way to go. Having a cassette supplied and no need to build anything. It's how all things should be. Getting all this stuff up and running is hard enough as it is. Bluetooth, Ant Plus, batteries, cadence sensors, power meters, heart rate monitors, companion apps, Apple TV remotes. If the manufacturers can do anything, it's streamlining and simplifying. And that does help. That's where these smart bikes come in too. They just, out of the box, pretty much work. Which is how things should be. Yeah, the stages buttons, I'm not sure. They might have their own bus. Maybe in some encryption. Yeah, though. All right. Much less stress than yesterday on this ride today. And I'm making use of all of that cassette on the Dream Drive. Oh. So who else has done it? Let me know if you're in the chat, if you've been hard up this climb, or if you're steering clear of it. Let me know your thoughts. I'm in for the long haul today, probably ETA 2 hours. So feel free to drop it into the chat and say good day. Ryan's 9th. Damn. Flying. $135, nice one. Was that for the whole stage or just for the climb? I noticed everybody's posting for the stage. I think that's what we're all taking our times on. But the climb itself is a few minutes less, because there's a little bit of a lead in before we get to that climb. Whole stage, nice one. Oh, colourful in chat there, look at that. It's getting feisty. Steering clear. Yep. I think they need to incentivize the climb a little bit more. The Zwift is incentivized with the spin wheel for the milestones, or the gloves, or the gloves, or the gloves. If you're lucky, you'll get a helmet. And then the 5 times up, and the what else? The 5 times up, 25 times up. No sound. I hope there's sound. Facebook may be mute by default. The gloves. Oh, I forgot the gloves. Yeah, it's the gloves. And then there's the gloves and the gloves at the top of Help the Zwift. Lots of gloves. So Mont Ventoux, they need to put something at the top there. A spin wheel. Or is that considered gambling? They should put a loot box at the top. Tobin flying 113 at only not even 100%. Wow. Benjamin 112, nice one. Flying. Don't have many gears yet left. I'm watching on the Dream Drive, yeah, but the ones that I do have left though, if you have a look at the steps, from what I'm in now to the easiest is almost the same difference between what I'm in now and the hardest. It's at that exponential. What time is it in my world? 4:13 p.m. They should do crit races at the top. There's a nice loop for sure. Hard to get an ETA for this. We'll know more when we have more data for people going up the climb. Well, I think it was 3.6 watts will get you 90 minutes. I think. Help us if we know it's 3.3. We'll get you up in an hour. So 3.3 watts per kilo, exactly 60 minutes. Give or take a little bit based on maybe positioning, equipment, and all the rest. Every 0.1 of a watt is a minute. Ooh. There's a formula. Is it snowing in Ballarat yet? I don't know. It can't be too far off. I haven't been outside today. For good reason, it's bloody cold. See, one thing I'm missing out on is, well, obviously the percentage gradient on the screen there. Let me fix that up. The chat's across that. There we go. Now you have the chat. You have the little percent sign up there now. $3.9 for an hour 15. Yeah, okay. So Jeremy, 130, 1 hour 30. Is that about right? 3.6 watts a kilo? Be nice for that number to be easily accessible, or to have an ETA not blasted on the screen like they usually do, just somewhere. I am using all these gears. Recovery ride. Mate, anything after yesterday's going to be recovery. Aciomas are typically my go-to reference power meter, yep. They seem to be pretty reliable. I wouldn't call them a gold standard. I would call nothing a gold standard these days. But they're consistently accurate. I am to reply to the in-game chat. I've got to load the companion app on my other phone. Oh, another winner for the Sage's bike is the phone holder. It's shaped like a phone. It has a little, so I've got my phone just here, my other phone. Has a little rubber backing. Doesn't go anywhere. That wins. So if you're after a perfect smart bike, you have to cannibalize all 3 or 4 smart bikes out there to get the best of all of them. So Sage's bike wins on the supplied saddle. Ride feels pretty good. Wouldn't call it a winner or a loser in ride feel, but the big flywheel's good. Bar tape is the best on the Sage's bike, but you can switch the bar tape from anything. The bar type, the gravel bars that splay out so you can sprint better indoors. And the accessories available. So that's where the Sage's bike wins for now. I haven't climbed the real Ventoux, no. My wife has. And she knows what's coming, so she's not going to do it in Zwift. Smart. Just new to cycling. Got the Wahoo Kicker bike at over 100 kilos if you're a Clydesdale. That's what they call you in cycling at Clydesdale. You'll find if you're out riding and you're a large dude, everyone will want to sit on your wheel on the flats. You're a good draft. Recommendation for gearings. The whee! Come on, dream drive. There we go. Oh, too many jumps. For gearing and bikes, if you're new to gearing, on the chainring, so up the front, the smaller the chainring on the front, the easier it is to spin, and it's the reverse on the back. The larger cog on the back, the easier it is to spin. So for hills, people usually go taller gearing on the back, so bigger gears on the back, smaller gears on the front. And for flats and time trials, it's usually a big chainring on the front, smaller on the back. But semi-compact usually suits everyone. So gearing wise, if you're doing virtual gearing, have a look at a 3652 on the front. And on the back, we can go 12 speed, so 10 through to 33 on the back. Should get you a nice spread. Ed's in the channel. Sore legs today, mate. Brilliant effort. Brilliant effort. And it's good to see what it takes to legitimately be at the front. Not to be using Z power and taunting people, which is what we saw, or what we do see. Yeah, a legit rider with legit power and the support someone like that needs. So Ed, your partner, was there with drinks, fan, towels, GoPro on the head. And that's what those things take to be at that level. Really good to see. Do I know, or do I need rowing is coming into Zwift? I think rowing is going to come to Zwift. Zwift wasn't built on a running platform. Zwift wasn't built on a rowing platform. Zwift as an entirety was built as a cycling platform. When you go Zwifting, you're not going for a run. When you go Zwifting, you're not going for a row. Can they change that? They've got a Ventoux of work ahead of themselves to make that on par or even a thing, to be honest. I don't think rowing on Zwift will be a thing. My question is, where do you put the screen? In front or behind? Rowers go backwards. It wouldn't take them much to implement though, technically speaking, because the world's already there. They have the 3D graphics, timing, the physics, everything exists. So just like running, to add onto it, so you can go from cycling to running, I think it was John's weekend project. But rowing, look, rowing will allow them to say running is the second most popular event on Zwift. So, I'm being smart, of course, but it will. Also, indoor rowing is an established pastime. There's already indoor rowing championships. So can they disrupt that enough? Hey, Vaughn. Speaking of support crew, Vaughn's in the house. What do I need? Another coffee? No, I'm good, Vaughn. Thank you.
I know you've got a long time ahead of you.
It's a Ventoux and chill ride, though. Epic crew.
Yeah?
Better than yesterday. It gets really strung out the further up you go.
Big deal.
Pretty good for day 2. Yep. The rowing championships are crap, but they exist. See, indoor cycling championships never existed. Von's been out on a new bike today. So we're going to do a video on Von's new bike. It's a beautiful bike. She got out just before the rain. And I think, if you're playing the long game on the channel, I think she's staying with 160 rotors on the front. So I'm gonna have to buy her the Durace ones. Simply because of looks. Bike fitters in Melbourne, Ken Ballhouse. Look up Ken at, I believe it's Adaptive Human Performance. But Ken Ballhouse is who you're after. If you can't find the name, ping me on any of the social medias after this one. Sarah Gigante has a crocodile heart. What a fighter. She's fantastic. At 19, Sarah, who got second last night, she won the Australian Elite Women's Road Championships here in Ballarat. Just rode away. I think that the peloton looked at themselves and went, "Oh, you know, who is this rider?" she's an Aussie champion. That's who she is now. Michael Wood's performance. Yeah, legit. Oh, Woods at the Worlds, wasn't it? He wasn't too far off there in Innsbruck. Was that last climb? I think he got shelled on. I did read what happened to Dennis. What happened to Yates? People over on Reddit are commenting that Yates was just tapping on at 180 watts. So, like, I think a lot of riders were like, all right, bang, I'm on the clock for work. Let's get this done. And that was that. There we go, 6.6 for 30 minutes. Spot on. That's where you want to be. I would have put the house on Dennis though. If Dennis rode anything like his last few rides indoors, but you never know. Look, let's be honest, it's fun to watch. It's a giant advertisement, let's call it that, for Zwift, the AFO, ASO, and cycling. So these riders and their teams will be targeting the real events that come up, that will pay the bills, and will attract the sponsors. I think this stuff's still too much in its infancy. The technology definitely is, we know that. But it's fun to watch. Tonight will be interesting. Flat crit on the Champs-Élysées. Drink more. What do you notice? Movie star ain't participating. Alright, calm down. Going too hard. This gearing is just about right. I'm kind of comfortable at 13%. These watts. So yeah, movie star. We need to look more into that. They may have a contract with Be Cool, being Spanish based. And Mitchelton Scott didn't field the women's team for the women's racing, which is unfortunate because the women's racing, again, to reference a post over on Reddit, has been better than the men's. I think all the women in that race have been racing flat out, taking it seriously. It's been presented with an opportunity they don't get in real life. And I think all the teams respect that, and all the riders respected that, and rode as hard as they could. Alrighty. I think this gearing is going to be okay. I think my leg's going to be okay too. I can keep it about here. Yeah, that's, I think, one thing Zwift can take away from that, and the ASO, especially the ASO can take away. I think Zwift have been on par with their events for a long time because they can. In a digital world, it's a little easier. But the ASO need to look at that and say, well, people are loving the women's racing, the coverage of the women's racing. Let's make it racing. Let's, in Victoria here, Cycling Victoria, to hold a Victorian Road Series or a VRS event, you had to have men's, women's, elites, juniors and paras. I think juniors and paras, maybe. But there was equality. It was a case of you can't hold a race unless you hold a race for everyone. And we don't call it men's or women's or paras or juniors. It's just VRS racing. That's all different categories, obviously, with the races themselves on the day, but that's what we expect. So it's been great to see that on Zwift. I'm out of gears, aren't I? Oh. Will we get to ride the Champs-Élysées? That's a good question. There will be discovery rides on it, I'm sure. As for the world, though, I don't know. Because there's not much to it. There's 2 directional badges for it. So if you want to ensure to get the badges, jump on this week for the discovery rides. 14 Ks, woo! Yeah, we'll be here for a while. But today's just chill for me. Chill and chat. And stages bike testing. Ooh, numbers. Interesting. Any new releases from Idaho and Tax this year? Scott, this year has been flipped. We don't know yet. We don't know. Well, Tax and have been taken over by Garmin, so there could be a slowdown there. Wahoo. I don't know what more they can do. Obviously the QC issues with the kicker 18 and some of the early cores, but we're releasing a new kicker just to address those. Fix anything? I don't know. As in, will it fix the consumer feel about the brand? We don't know. But where you'll find out is right here. If I get anything pre-release, well, you won't find out about it until we can talk about it. But as soon as embargoes lift, if you have notifications on here, on the YouTube channel, you'll find out about it. So subscribe. Al Thomas, good morning. If you're just tuning in, Ventoux and chill ride today. Tapping to the top. Oh, we're mid-pack. Okay, I'm happy with that. We'll be mid-pack too, down the back somewhere. What happened to the Wahoo watch? Well, that time never came around. But you imagine, I've got a 945 on my wrist at the moment. That's a Garmin. Imagine trying to release a Gen 1 watch product up against Garmin. That's a big ask. Oh, sorry, somebody asked before early on about switching from Garmin to the Roam. Look, the Roam doesn't have the full feature set of any of the Garmins. Like the first beat analytics and all the extra things that most of the time I switch off. It does the core functionality just perfect though. So, Wahoo couldn't compete with its main rival. I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. Well, they weren't going to be the forerunner of the industry. See, it's a chill ride. We can make silly jokes. Bolt or 530? It really depends. You need to sit down and, like with anything you purchase, what's the core functionality that you need? For me, accurate power recording, accurate GPS, left-right balance is handy to have. What else? Varia radar support. Live track is interesting, but I don't use it all the time. Notifications, call notifications, message notifications are handy. If it's technically a work day and I'm out on the road. And I think everything I've named just then is across both the Bolt 530, 830, Roam, 1030, 1030 Plus. But if you want toys and more things to play with, such as Climb Pro, colors and graphs and things, there you go, boot time. 530 boots up quick, Bolt in 18 seconds. Plus the updates it installs every time. Probably 3 or 4 updates out recently on the Wahoo side of things. They've been squashing some bugs. Oh. Well, today's target's looking good. 200, 180 to 200 I wanted to sit on. And like yesterday, I went too hard. And I'm stuck in that one single gear. Garmin Edge 520 Plus with 10 by 10. 520 Plus is getting a bit old now. I'd save your biscuits and go to the 530. Just for that boost in processing power. So the 530, 830, 1030 Plus, they're snappy units now. They're pretty quick. Wahoo or N2? N2? Need more info. But we're nearly in August though, can you believe it? Nearly August. Damn. Your 1030 will feel slow compared to the 830. The 1030 Plus is effectively an 830 with bigger pants on and a bigger screen. What am I using? I've got the 830 and the 530 on right now. I had the Roam on the other day with the kicker to do my 5x5 with training pinfall. That worked okay. Oh, exactly as you expected. Tax 2T or the Wahoo kicker. Me, kicker, for racing and riding, for that flywheel feel. But the 2T really has addressed the flywheel slippage that the Neo and the Neo 2 had. Preference. Again, I've ridden more Ks on the kicker. There's a lot of people out there happy with the 2T. I had some issues early on with the power accuracy, flywheel speed accuracy. They've been addressed in recent firmware updates. 2T now supports through axle natively, no adapter, which is a good thing. The 1030 Plus has a supermodel cost. Yeah, the supermodel and her 5 kids you have to adopt as well. And there's a red-headed kid in all that too, so he's trouble. That's the price you pay for a 1030 Plus. Have I tested all the smart trainers? Pretty much. What do I use the most and why? Recently, the last 12 months, probably the Kicker Core most for my riding and racing on here. Also the Elite Diretto, I've used quite a lot. And the Tax Neo, the original Neo, for its power accuracy. What happened to Never Again, Steve? It's a new day. That was yesterday. Put on a happy face. I forgot the pain of yesterday. We're doing it again, even though I can't speak properly. Thoughts on CompuTrainer? Well, we can thank CompuTrainer for the kicker, because the owner / CEO founder of Wahoo, Chip Hawkins, was a CompuTrainer rider, riding indoors. He was in the marine industry, I believe, but always into sport, into building things. He was riding along on the CompuTrainer, and it was all wired up and wires going everywhere. And he approached CompuTrainer saying, "Hey, can I build a wireless module for this so it can talk to our phones?" I think that was around about the iPhone was out, and he had his phone. It's like, why can't this trainer talk to my phone and I can control it that way? CompuTrainer said, "Nope, not interested." So Chip thought, "Oh, okay, no worries." I think he approached him again a year later and said, "I think there's a market for this. You know, people are riding indoors. It's a smart trainer." The CompuTrainer was one of the very first smart trainers. And they're like, no, we are not interested in you helping us out. So Chip went, "You know what? Hold my beer." And now we have Wahoo. Chill ride today. There's no ups at all. So I will take the drafting boost. Duke 6 AM is up the climb. So my thoughts on CompuTrainer. So they're out of business now. They don't exist. I think their tech was sold off patent-wise to, it may have been split, and the story's not over there yet. So stay tuned. Maybe a long game on that one, but I believe they were split. The time up for me up this climb, probably 2 hours. The time for the fast dudes, 1 hour, 55 minutes. I'm just chill riding today. We're right in the zone. Which means I'm ready to, I'm out of gears. Llama mode, that was my first time up. About 15 minutes before the end, we hit Llama mode. But I was a bit ahead of myself. So I had to back it off, and then you saw Llama mode again. About 45 seconds to go. I'm going harder than I said, I always do. I'm comfortable though. And I'm under 160 beats, RPM. Yeah, my heart actually spins, it doesn't beat. What bike computer would I recommend? Again, Darcy, they all do the same thing at the core features that everyone wants. GPS, sensor support, power meter support. Well, at that certain price point, the cheaper ones don't have power meter support. But they're all much of a muchness. It's the special features you need to choose what you want. If you want Climb Pro, if you want, say, Garmin Connect, or if you want the ease of setup with the Wahoo stuff, if you've been burnt in the past by Garmin, Wahoo's the catch there. But it depends. You can't go too wrong with what's out there at the moment. Hey, look, even the Hammerhead Karoo has had quite a few significant updates in recent times. Isn't it stupid that only your best 20 minutes resets your FTP, but not your best hour? That's interesting, yeah. Lars, good question. Or good observation. So the observation there is that Zwift will set your FTP based on, I think it's 95% of your 20-minute best power, which is a common ballpark, okay-ish figure to get your FTP. However, what Lars was saying, that he rode higher than that for an hour, but nothing reset. Yeah. So Lars, what I'd suggest there is, if you want to redo your 20-minute power test, maybe even do a step test and see how things fall out. But there should be some code there. I think there's at least 10 lines of QBasic that could figure that out. Got a speed. How are we doing? Good to see you, Harry. I'm the god of chill today. We've knocked it down quite a few watts from yesterday. One hour 03, I'd want 328 watts. Nice one. That's good going, mate. One more gear. There we go. The Dream Drive allows you just to tune the RPM by just a little bit. Yeah, taking it easy today. It's raining here. I wanted to get out for a ride outdoors. By the time I got everything sorted today, it started to rain. So 2 hours in here seems like a good idea to me. And I need to loop back to everyone who asked questions yesterday that I didn't get to. Lots more drink today though. The Bolt or the 530, which one would I buy? I've got a gun put to my head. 530 is newer. I'd go the 530. For what I do. I like true the cycling dynamics metrics. The Bolt doesn't have just yet. And the 530, was it Tobin who pointed out before, boots up a little quicker. I think the Bolt was 2017. The 530 was last year, so it's time for the Bolt 2 or the Bolt 2020 or something. But for core features, again, it's line ball. Check out this long group of riders we have. Julian, welcome along, mate. No masks required up there in Sydney. Melbourne today got the news, what, another 300 plus roans, and the requirement for everyone to wear masks outdoors. Melbourne's in a right roan rut at the moment. Things aren't good. Getting back on the bike after a rough cold. If it's in your chest, take it even slower. If it's in your head, you're not too bad. Slower the better. Because what will happen is if you get back too soon, you peak up, and if you've still got a bit left in your system, it's not going to allow you to recover. You're going to drop well below where you were, even when you had the flu. So take it easy. Cycling has been around for a long time. It'll be around a long time after we're gone, so always time to rest and recover. I can see Twitch chat. You guys got any crit race this times? No, I can see the Twitch chat, I just don't understand the Twitch chat. Crit race on Zwift, crit race on Tour de France. Technically, Melbourne. Melbourne's the problem. I take offence when everyone throws Victoria under the bus. We're doing the right thing here. It's not much we can do about it anyway, I guess. Other than the right thing. I love the people on social media though. Such a head crack. People rejecting the idea of wearing a mask. It's like, it's not a choice. It's not a choice. It's a goddamn directive. Crit race in real life, no racing at all. No racing anywhere near here recently, or in the near future. Where am I? Hey. Hey crew. There we go. Originally from Canberra. My reaction was that of compassion. I'm sorry to hear. Canberra's alright, if you like roundabouts. Had a few national champs up in Canberra. At Stromlo. 2000... Was it the 2007 or 2009? Might have been the 2009 Masters Nationals. Alrighty, 47 minutes. We are in for the long haul. Entry-level carbon bike, somebody asked before. I can't go past Giant. Here in Australia anyway, Giant are relatively cheap, relatively accessible. There's dealers everywhere, so that's what I ended up going with my own money. So Canyon are probably better value if you want to get on the bike and just ride a bike with all the high-end gear. But then there's the issue of like the servicing or the warranties or whatever. I know they can deal with it over couriers and everything, but it's not your local bike store you're dealing with. Best bike accessory, Varia radar for the riding that I do. I'd probably take a radar over a power meter outdoors, to be honest. Well, for where I'm at, I've raced with a power meter for 15 years. I know where things are at with a power meter. Pretty much done chasing numbers outdoors, but for my riding right now, the Varia radar is just brilliant. More awareness on the road. Hey, Veronica Michich, Facebook comments. Good to see you. What bike in real life? Giant TCR, disc, Giant TCR, the 2013 model caliper brake version. A Shiv time trial bike, which I need to sell, so I'm not racing that anymore. If I had the choice of which bike, pick of the bunch, S-Works, SL, whatever, disc, all day. Beautiful. I had an SL4 and raced that for years. Little S-Works, there we go. On the team kit. Love that bike. I still have the frame. But when I saved up for my next one, by the time I saved up the amount of money my bike was currently worth, they'd bumped the price by about $2,000. So I don't own a Specialist. Hey Maxi, no nap. All right, Maxi can come into the stream. Oh, Dream Drive. You're on the money. RV88XP. Don't know my history. If you type in GPLama 100,000, the number, into YouTube, I cover my background just quickly on the 100,000 subscriber video, where I talk about my journey, where I've come from, which was IT background, computing, IT security, taking up cycling a little later in life, losing 10 or 15 kilos, then targeting a number of races and riding and racing everywhere. That one's probably the best one. Pro rider? No, I wasn't pro. I did alright against some pros though. The best elite result that I had was here in Ballarat, 10th at the National Elite Time Trial. But I focus a lot on the Masters stuff, the age group racing. So I got 15 national titles there. State-wise, about 28 or 29 state titles in Victoria, South Australia and New South Wales. Lots of time trial stuff. Loved a good time trial. You never miss a breakaway in a time trial. It's all under your control. And time trial and tech go hand in hand. So using the radar on the roads that I do, on the roads that I ride, if I'm riding along in my own little world and the radar beeps, I'll turn and have a look. If I'm on a road with no shoulder and it's a big truck, there's a car coming the other way, I mean, I can choose. I sometimes jump off the road and have a drink, or 9 times out of 10 what happens, beep beep, the radar alerts me something coming up behind. I turn around, do a head check. I see the car has already stepped out. I give them a bit of a wave. They wave back. Happy days. They know that I've seen them. Now I know car drivers versus cyclists, it's an ongoing battle. As a car driver myself, the last thing I want to do is hit a cyclist. And I'm pretty sure that's most other people driving a car as well. They don't want to hit a cyclist, but they could be a bit nervous that the cyclist hasn't seen them or might swerve. If I'm riding up behind a cyclist and they're wobbling, I get nervous. So if I'm driving up, but the amount of friendly interactions I've had now that I acknowledge a truck coming past, is phenomenal. I think it makes those drivers more comfortable as well, that I know they're there and we're out there to share the road. There's the occasional, I won't use the term, but that's on all sides too. Now here's an interesting story related to a Phil Gaiman post today on Twitter, that he had interaction with somebody on the road and said, would you do that to me in a supermarket? I've got a real life story that happened. So in Melbourne a few years ago, we lived 4 or 5 houses up from a supermarket, convenience store, whatever you call it. I'm walking along the aisle and I won't reveal the gender, a person, again, I don't want to get in trouble. Someone pushing a trolley almost hits me with their trolley. They didn't see me around the corner and they were very apologetic in the supermarket. I'm so sorry, didn't see you. I was going around that corner too fast, pushing the trolley. I'm like, yeah, no worries, that's fine. No harm, no foul. I was straight to the checkout, home, on the bike. I rode past the supermarket. That very same person pulled out of the supermarket and nearly hit me on my bike. Their reaction? To abuse me. End of story. That's the difference between people's attitudes and people's actions. Exactly the same scenario. Within 5 or 10 minutes, 2 completely different reactions. I was the same both times. I was in the right. But when you tell people that story, they're like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, holy shit, I wish I had the camera running for both of those. Yeah, I get that cars have a sense of road ownership. What's funny is people don't get mad at stoplights. If you're on the bike and you press the light to cross the road, car drivers, and then if you stop traffic to go through legally a set of lights or a pedestrian crossing or a shared path crossing. But if you're in the car, you drive up to a set of lights and set the trigger off. This car's coming the other way, they'll just stop. Because they can't get angry at a computer, can they? They can't get angry at a stoplight. When there's someone to blame on a bike, things change. Psychologists would have a field day with that. Hey, Bubba. Maxwell and Chill. How you doing, bub? You good? Max's first birthday next month. That's gone quick. Somebody asked me the other day, what's it like being a father? The answer was negative 50 watts to my FTP. But it's fun, isn't it, Maxwell? He's quiet. Yeah? Want to show him your legs? Oh, he loves the computer game. Say hello to everyone, Maxie. He loves this room, the Llama Lab. There's so much junk. How am I doing for target watts? Where go? Hi, Max. Say, hey, Harry. Can you wave? He's got the wave down. Come, Max, stick your legs in the shot. Come on. Prove I'm not crazy. Come, Maxie. Show me your legs, mate. Oi! Your sprinter legs. He's got more hair than me too. Lots more hair. How are you, Maxie? Hey, bub, come here. Oh. And the biggest hands you've ever seen. Huh? Look at those. You got big back, boss. You do it, cutie. He's shy. Ah. Ah. This isn't bad with this gearing. Knowing that some riders have already finished. Get Max on a balance bike, yes. What do you think, Maxie? His legs aren't even hitting the top tube on the saddle. No, Kev, no pain face today. It's all smiles. And more drinks. There you go, Nick Bensley. Nick and Co did PRL full the other week. Oh, 175 kilometres. I think it was just under 5 hours for those guys. Saddle for trainers. Look, I'm on the Stages saddle on this bike. Oh, you can't see because my thigh gap isn't big enough. Which is very much like a specialised power saddle. So for me, something with a cutout down the, it's probably got a technical term, sausage area. Severe weather warning. Severe weather warning. That's why we're riding indoors today. But a saddle is just a never-ending quest of finding something that works. For me, did the Physic Ariones for a while. I went with the Specialized, was it the Toupee? Which was on my chode, not my head. What else did we go to? The what, sorry? The Roman? But anything with a cutout, for me, works well. Yeah, I'll get to the PRL 4 one day. Pro Stealth, yep, Pro Stealth. It's a bit of a fatter version than the Power. But Pro Stealth is on... Max is sitting on it right now. It's on the kicker bike. Yes, Jean-Paul, I'm on the Stages bike right now. Yep. Yes, Maxie. Dad is on the Stages bike. Which gives the best cycling routes? Google Maps, Strava, or Komoot? I'll go with Strava. Mainly because their database has preferred routes and, what do you call it? I can't think of the word now. Is my heart rate above 160? No, it's not. I should be able to figure it out then. No, the word goes. Garmin Connect does really well too. Garmin Connect the other week on the 1030 Plus. Well, the 1030 Plus routes. I said, yeah, route me home from Creswick. If anybody knows Creswick to Ballarat, it is straight down the line for me and a right-hand turn home. This routed me straight down the line, the tourist route that everyone rides, and then a dirt road home, which is exactly where I ride. So it had popularity-based routing on the Garmin stuff, which was good. I'm looking at doing a head-to-head. Just a small example of a route that from here to Mount Buninyong and back, because the most direct route is by the freeway. Nobody rides that. The most direct non-freeway route, nobody rides. It's these little back roads that are brilliant for riding that these map things should know about. So I might do a little head-to-head comparison, but every area is different too. Brain oxygenation. Yeah, 160 BPM, and I don't make any sense. Also, Physic actually, yeah, they have the new stubbier saddles too, don't they? For time trialing, I settled on the Satiro, which doesn't have a cutout but has a big channel down the centre. And I really just positioned myself right on the end of that thing anyway. What is this? Bush Drink? Bush Drink, this is a computer game where instead of pressing keys on a keyboard, we're pressing pedals on a bike. And what you're seeing there on screen, the wattage, is my power output. Much like a light bulb, you switch the light on, it might be a 60 watt light bulb. That's the wattage I'm putting out there in energy. RPMs, how quickly I'm spinning my legs. BPM is my heart rate. And it uses all that information to propel me forward, or the watts to propel me forward. And everyone else you're seeing on screen is a real human. So there's 1,000 or 1,700 others, nearly 1,800 others doing the same thing as me right now. If I don't pedal, I don't go forward. If I don't go forward, I'll never finish. We'll get there. Except for Z Power. They're sponsored by DeWalt and Ryobi. I'll get that up there so people watching later on might not see the chat. Don't look at me, we used to sell that SMP according to Vegan Cyclist. It means I was born with no ass. This is so strange. Mate, it is pretty strange. What's even stranger is there's no racing or riding going on in the real world. It makes me sad. But we can jump on and get cheered on by, the people there who were on the tinnies and the sangers from yesterday. There's a guy starting the lawnmower. He's going to lawnmower start. The app on my phone is the Stages Bike app. It's the gear configuration. So that's the Dream Drive. So you can see that I have 50 gears to choose from. Hey, Prime this month, thank you. Twitch. Shout outs to Twitch and the... What is that shadow going past? The superior stream quality you get on Twitch. That was a cable car. Where is that? Bags and bragging rights. That cable car just went past. May Shrek guide this streamer. I have no idea what that means. I'm too old for the cool stuff. There goes the cable car. Be cool if you could catch that up to the top. Camera angles, okay, so I'm on a PC here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is behind, 7's a TV camera, 8 is pretty far back, goes in and out, 9 I think is a overhead shot, and 0, which is effectively a drone. Once you've got 0, you can use the camera or the arrow keys to move your camera around, plus and minus to jump out. The trick there with the 0 or the drone key, you can get different angles. Ooh. So you wait for that to pull right out, then you go camera 0, and you're really far away. So you can grab a lot better shots. So you could never get this shot with camera angle 0. Sorry, and pulling back out. But if you wait for the other camera angle to pull out, you can jump further. Whew. All right, more drink, let's go. So just a chilled ride today so I can jump into the chat. Still having to work though. Hoping to get this done under 2 hours. We're on track for that. Looking good. Everyone vanished around you a while back, only see yourself. That is your internet connection. Or between you and the Zwift server. If everything else is working fine, it's a direct issue or a route issue. I think there was issues in Germany to Zwift servers a while back. But if everyone drops out and you're still riding by yourself, then you can't load Tinder, whatever, other apps, then it's not stage 5. No, this is stage 3 of Etape, the community, the normal people ride. However, this is on the same climb as stage 5 as the tour. Downhill party, there will be, but you won't be able to join me because it's still an event-only world. If you have the hack, you could probably join me, but the less I say about that, the less chance I get in trouble. Bernie Sanders joining us from Arvello. Welcome along, Reddit. I'm active over on Reddit. Always a good source of what's new and what's about. Some of the forums that I frequent: Reddit, Slow Twitch, Trainer Road. The Zwift forums a little bit, but I find that more general forums probably a better source of all things cycling and tech, and opinions and views, and of course Facebook. What do I think of the new Strava local legend feature? Keith, good question. Are you ready? I think people might be surprised at my answer on this one. I think it sucks. I think it's one of the worst rollouts they could ever do, because they're doing a regional rollout. So me, as a Strava subscriber in Australia, I've got access to it. They're promoting it everywhere. It's not in Australia, so I pay the same as anyone else in the world, and I get less features on Strava. They can stick that. They can stick that. Good idea, good theory, but don't come out saying you're changing your business model. We're listening to the users and split them in half while they're still providing different values based on where you live in the world. Get out of here. Not a fan of that at all. So my take on that's not about the feature, it's about their execution. They need to do better. Hack explanations not allowed on my channel. I can do them. I risk then getting a letter from a lawyer or a legal firm and a takedown, and what other ramifications may come of that, such as using maybe the Zwift logos too much. The channel now is big enough that I'd be the perfect channel to make an example of. If Zwift sent a takedown to a smaller channel, it's nasty, but people are like, oh yeah, 500 subs or 1,000 subs, okay. But if a channel with 125,000 subs gets taken down, it's a good example for everyone else, isn't it? Not to break the rules. And technically that does violate terms and conditions. Or if it doesn't, I'm sure the lawyers could switch it. So I'm hesitant to do that. My background there is getting sent a letter from Peloton lawyers to tell me to stop using the word Peloton in my digital Peloton news. So I may be being a bit too cautious. Once burned, twice shy. I did tell Peloton to pretty much shove their letter back up their ass, and they agreed. But that was a get out of jail for free. If someone wanted to clamp down on me, the resources I have, I got me. It's me in my front room with all my cameras. The biggest resources that I have, and the most valuable resource to me, are my viewers. And that's exactly what I called on when Peloton had a go at me. I just posted my letter, or the letter they sent to me, to social media, and that blew up. But I can't keep using that all the time. I told Peloton I'll play the underdog here. And Devil's still there. Somebody pointed out the other day, Devil's gone. The Devil is still there. There he is. It's a pretty funny story looking back at the Peloton stuff. I guess their lawyers just needed to be seen to be protecting their brand, or the brand they were employed to protect, and that's what they did. Sent me a letter saying, stop using the word digital Peloton, or the word Peloton. And I know you got my back, and I do appreciate that. But I try not to call on that more than I need. But I told Peloton in the email back what I was going to do. I said, look guys, you got nothing here. I'm going to play the underdog. I'm a guy with a camera and a YouTube channel. You guys have billions in funding. No one's feeling sorry for you guys. So you can take it and you can stick it, or you can come at me, because the story it'll go viral. It wasn't viral as in a meme or anything like that, but it did the rounds. It played out exactly how I said it would. I was lucky. They were unlucky, but yes, anyway, so long story short, I really can't be pushing lines. Speaking of Strava, just before, the Strava videos that I used to do with Strava Insights, what head units people used, what watches people used, pacing, all that really interesting data, percentage of people upgrading their head units. Yeah, I got a tap on the shoulder about that too. Interesting info. How I was obtaining that information was technically against their terms of service. It's the same as if you watch my ride from outside a few days ago, you know what head unit I was using. So if you went to an event, loaded up everybody's activities, and got a pen and paper, and wrote down everyone's head unit, then you did that for the last 5 or 10 years, it'll take you a while, so I've automated that. And they don't like that. It's public info, but the way I did it was, I think, what they sell to companies. So that's gone too. So there's a lot more than running a YouTube channel than just, on to and flit and chill. Or reviewing a smart trainer. Plus also the upkeep of the original content that's been put up. 1,000 videos. So a number of bots and things that will grab those videos, try and repurpose them and rip off the content. So there's a bit of management behind that. We didn't send that letter though. David, your firm represents Peloton on other issues. We didn't send that letter. Look, I hold nothing against him for that. I totally told him to stick it, but I appreciate that that firm was employed to protect the brand, and they had assumed that what I was doing was a bit too close to the line, I guess. Good story though. The number of subscribers I got out of that, it was a good day. It was a good week. And the Peloton business model, it's brilliant. You look at what everyone else is trying to do in this space. I'm on a Stages bike right now, but there's an out-of-the-box Peloton experience. All it's missing is the screen and the service. Look at what Zwift are up to. Rumours there about getting into hardware. I guarantee you they're trying to simplify it. One of the reasons this channel exists is to try and tech-explain everything of how this works. Originally it was about ant sticks, USB ports, 2.4 gig Wi-Fi, not being on channel 10. Things are getting a little better. Mark Suto. I wouldn't be riding flaps. Straight shoot on that one. Tips on indoor bike maintenance. Well, smart bikes, we just don't know. They haven't been around long enough. Your bike indoor that you ride, as always, chain oil, keep it clean. And corrosion. take off your headset and make sure it's not getting all gummed up or corroding with sweat. Good prevention for that would be something like, what's the stuff? I'll think of it in a minute. Shield T9, which is a lubricant, but it's also a wax that dries. It's corrosion prevention. You can treat your bike with that. If it's an indoor bike, you're good. But yeah, sweat can be evil. Peloton made that video and turned themselves into a joke. Stop. I agree. I can see where that video went though. It just identified their core target audience. Oh, cyclocross, hang on. There we go. That's a barrier. Shit, forgot how to get off. All right, we're good. Not quite confident in bunny hopping down the bike yet. If they're gonna put a barrier there, we're gonna have to jump it. I could be a brand ambassador. I'm a brand ambassador for me. That works. Like a lot of companies use my content to represent their brand, that's fine. But in the reverse, I use their products to represent me. So for something like Zwift, for example, gets a lot of hits, a lot of views. So I've hooked onto that bandwagon. For Vero Asiomas, people love those. I love those. So I've hooked myself onto those, I use them. And products people search for, Wahoo, Tax, Elite. What else have we got? Garmin. I can talk through a Garmin changelog and get nearly 50,000 views. That blows me away. Garmin see that and appreciate that. So yeah, something new comes out, I might get a preview, which is kind of cool. But I try and make content that I'd be interested in, because something like a changelog, I'm looking at changelogs all the time. I'm fascinated by them. It's like Christmas. And I think the viewership I've built over the years, probably much like me, bike nerds. It's not always about what's new. It's about using your equipment that you've got to the best capability. Yeah, that barrier. Boy, I really forgot about that. Nearly went head first. Apple TV, bingo. TV Guy AU. Whereabouts are you, mate? Hopefully not Melbourne. Or else you'd be outside like this. Shout outs to Melbourne. Face masks mandatory outside in Melbourne now. Apple TV and Zwift setups, yeah, brilliant. Except for that remote. But for a dedicated box, what, 230 bucks? LS Shom, of course you can ask a question. I will attempt to answer. Apple TV is a single-purpose Zwift device. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ventoux. I've got to say, at this effort, which for me, what's probably, I don't know, the math of this, 70%, 80%, I'm finding it great. This is good. The chat helps. Keeps my mind off the road. And the barriers. Mildura. Not short on vitamin C up there with all those oranges. And vitamin D on sunshine. But Humpty Dumpty is no longer on the wall up there. What's the go? Okay, Zwift Hub does not have any links to Zwift. There's no back-end API to Zwift Hub. You have to create an account on Zwift Hub and manually check off what you've done. The easy way to do that, load up the website Zwift Hub, log in, pull up Zwift on your mobile device, and then start a ride. You don't have to ride anywhere. Jump back to the menus, then go to your badges and achievements on the mobile and just go through the list and check them off. Now, if you've checked off more than half of the routes already, it's quicker to jump on Zwift Hub and click the trophy for all routes, and then you check off the ones that you haven't done. Yes, you uncheck the ones you haven't done. So I've done, more than half, so it was quicker for me to tag them all than untag them. But there's no link there. The reason being, Zwift are pretty tight on third-party access to their information. Rightly so. They're a private company. There's a lot of eyes on what they're doing, and it's valuable information if you can jump on, and people have. But yeah, gear change, please. Come on, come on. There's no feedback on a gear change, so it's hard to know when it's coming. Zwift have/no comment an API. It's since been restricted quite a lot. Thoughts on the rumors of Zwift taking over Zwift Power? As I understand from what I've read in public, there was no takeover, there's no rumors. Zwift now owns Zwift Power. Done deal. James, behind it, has publicly stated that he's left working at Zwift Power. I'll wait for a public announcement from Zwift to further comment on that. Hot topic though, hot topic. Best things Zwift can do to improve. Michael, good question. There's a lot of small, low-hanging fruit for Zwift. Things such as HUD customization, like that mini map, get it out. I'm in 4K. I want the ride. I don't want all this information. Saving pedal ride data, left-right power data, something as simple as that. DOI2 integration, SRAM wireless integration. I've been riding Zwift for a few weeks, went outside, my DO2 battery went flat. Zwift could have told me that. It could pair to those things. So, there's a lot of really easy stuff they could do for cyclists. I have a list of 100 things. I've got a video to do. Here's 100 quick things I'd like fixed on Zwift. Even in workout mode, the little progress bar for your interval in workout mode doesn't go across the whole screen. It starts at about a quarter across and then goes across. So if you're visually working your watts, it's not quite representative of what you're doing. There's always tons of just small things. One thing Zwift got right though, so it's easy to focus on what they didn't do well. And everyone's got their big list. It's part of the life cycle of a Zwifter. I posted that up over on Reddit a couple of weeks back. In summary, people will jump on Zwift, love it, come up with heaps of ideas that they want to improve on Zwift. They'll wonder why Zwift aren't doing it. They'll get frustrated. They'll hate Zwift. They'll look at the competition. Then they'll come back to Zwift and the life cycle starts again. That's just, we see it all. I've been around Zwift for a long time. It's the same with any platform. But if you can't affect change in a positive way, people get frustrated. We see that quite a lot. So my list of 100 things, I'm not sure whether it's too lame just to talk about in the video. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit. But back to what they got right. Rider visuals. Cyclists, we ride behind everyone all the time. We know what people look like on a bike. That guy in front of me just there, doing a bit of his butt wiggle, there we go. Hey, butts McWiggle. That looks natural. That bike movement, the dude hasn't got socks on. Nice calves though. But it looks like a person on a bike. That's key. If you look at some other platforms, I don't want to name names. If they haven't quite got that right, or the physics isn't right, you look at it and go, that's not how a bike rides. Even now, look at this. These bikes, when the people are in the saddle, the bike still moves just a little bit. And for us, you don't notice the little things they got right because it just looks right. What you do notice though is when they get them wrong. If a bike is dead straight and you go around a corner like this, it doesn't look right. So it's one thing they got right early on. Then first impressions count a lot. See, out of the saddle, the bike's swinging back and forward the right way. All right, back to questions. Garmin First Beat Analytics. That's it. They could, that would require them having an agreement with Garmin. That'd be a great value add. Democracy is the worst form of government, except all the other ones that have been invented. I like it. What is Zwift Power? Okay, not to be confused with Z Power. Z Power is in-game virtual power calculated from a speed sensor. That's Z Power. Zwift Power was a website set up by Glenn Knight, James Hodges, I believe it's James Hodges, and contributions by a few people that took all the Zwift data. Initially they were pulling off the public feed. Anybody who did an event, they'd have everyone's data and they could just grab it all down, throw it in their database, sort races, events, you name it. Like, you wanted to know how you're trending, it was all there. They made that data dance. Absolutely brilliant service. It was pretty much analytics from everybody's results, even in real time. And even later on, they added multiple power meters as well. It's like fantastic. GDPR came along and things got tricky. Were tricky for a lot of companies, and especially any company that stores people's data. Now, I've always said Zwift Power needed to be in-housed at Zwift, because for Zwift Power to agree to GDPR, they had to do a ton of work, and then people had to manually link their Zwift account to Zwift Power. And not a lot of people did that. So GDPR pretty much put a bullet in Zwift Power overall. People who cared about Zwift results, race results, and wanted to be a part of it were already there, they were on it, they linked their accounts. But the great unwashed just didn't do it. They didn't know about it. So it became fragmented. For example, 1,000 people would do a race or a ride and they'd get 300 results rather than 4,000, or maybe 900 results, but there was missing data. So the value of the service overall has been slightly diminished with GDPR. If Zwift bought that in-house and people didn't have to agree to it, or you just had to click, yes, I want to be part of it or not, or public or not, Zwift Power would be in a much better position to carve up all of the data and present a unified experience of what you see on the screen and ride in an event is what you see in the results. That's pretty much what they've done. I would have liked to see Zwift in-house the servers and technology, but also the people behind it, because obviously they built it. I'm not sure that's been done, so we'll wait to see if there's any public announcement from Zwift on that. But as it stands, as I understand, Zwift Power is now Zwift. So Zwift build the worlds, and Zwift also police the worlds with disqualifications and upgrades and everything. How the help desk at Zwift are going to deal with that? Oof. That's shoes to fill. It's always been a great position for Zwift to be in, to be at arm's length from it. Let's say you're racing and someone's cheating and you've got a rivalry against someone using a drill. Zwift could sort of go, well, hey, we just do the platform. Results are done by someone else, and they can step away. I can't do that anymore. Frontline support, we're going to have to deal with that. But it's about the platform growing up. Nothing ever stays the same. If that is the case, I've been thinking, how could a Zwift Power service be utilized for other platforms? So if Zwift didn't take the talent over with the servers and server, could those guys just pull up stumps and go to RGT? Could they do it to Be Cool, One Lap? Maybe Trainer already got something up their sleeve in 12 months or 24 months. Full gas. Some good talent there. Some good ideas. So, hey, look. Nothing ever stays the same. And the Zwift grip ride fence. Good question. Released a year ago. MIA. More shoe selection. Just a chill ride today. No attacks. 1.7k to go. Whew. Active recovery, I call this one. And we are coming in under the 2 hour mark. Fantastic. Good. Bath salts, I'm just going easy, man. Sorry, question on the Think Rider 7. I haven't ridden one. Middle-aged guys, e-racing vanity. And they're not Karens, they're Kevins, are they? Oh, this song, sorry, I've got a playlist of 23 songs that are no copyright. So you don't have to listen to me banter and breathe. Top 500, yeah, let's do it. No. Zwift Hub, oh look. Now, if Zwift need to integrate with a company or a project, I guess. Yeah, Zwift Hub. Hands down, do it now. Max agrees. Put it on the dashboard, you're done. Brilliant stuff. The difference we're seeing though, and we saw a lot more community projects early on with Zwift than we do now. Come on, gears, come on. That's too laggy for me. Okay, the gear changes was lagging out. I had to do the Dream Drive jump. There's a difference between corporate and passionate projects. Let's not kid ourselves. Zwift are in here to make money, boost their value, and have an exit strategy. That's how you make money on that scale. Something like Zwift Power, Zwift Hub, they just love this stuff. The people behind that that's their weekend, it's their hobby, it's their project. It's what they get fulfillment out of. Not saying you can't get fulfillment out of corporate, but they're two different things. So if Zwift were to take over Zwift Hub, I'd hope they would well compensate the person for the work. They'd be happy and everyone wins. That's my perfect world. I don't think a perfect world exists. Shareholders have cold iron hearts. Hey, results. That's it. Oh yeah. I reckon that car's bogged. That's so stuck there. Oh, Tom Simpson Memorial. Sorry, I forgot that. That's good they put that in game. With a paid subscription, you can ride Richmond any day you want. When it's on rotation, you can. If not, you can create... Max is crying. You can create your own meetup in that world as long as you invite someone else. Doesn't matter if they show up or not. Or there are tools over on zwifthacks.com to do world selection with a config file update. There should be more room for organic communities like Zwift Power. Yeah, there has been for many years, but I think the Zwift are probably turning a corner from being a startup into maybe they're going up for sale. Maybe they need to know their valuation. So there's going to be a change there. Early on, I think they were happy with everyone doing community projects, happy having the data, going from an infant to a teenager, and now they're in the big leagues. So you really wouldn't want to be putting value down on Zwift if Zwift relied on all these technically unregulated third parties to provide a service. Whew. We're almost there. 800 meters. No, David, you got a good heart. That's. We see that in technology all the time. Patents get in the way. IP, yeah. Interoperability. Anybody remember the iOmega zip drive? Well ahead of the time. It was never as popular as the Panasonic floppy disk though. PowerPod? Yeah. Look, PowerPod, which is an opposing force power meter. So direct force power meter, something like the pedals that I'm on now, and the cranks on this bike. So I push down, it measures the force. PowerPod measures the wind resistance and does a ton of calculations. They're limited. I can't use them indoors, which is a lot of my riding at the moment. Outdoors, they can be somewhat accurate, but it takes a lot of lining up to get them accurate. Calibration, correct weight, all the variables. I'm not saying they can't be accurate, but to rely on them as being accurate takes a lot of work. And that work and that mucking around and that unknown, it can be time saved and money saved with another power meter, so a direct force. They have their place though, sure. Look, if they were the next big thing, I'm not the difference between the next big thing or not. For example, for Vero Asioma, I hadn't heard of Vero before. The Be Pro power meter didn't want to touch, didn't take my interest at all. They came out with the Asiomas that just worked really well. And that's the story that I tell. I keep using them because they work well. And it's the community, it's the customers who love them. So, yeah. It is what I think every product falls exactly where it needs to land. There's no product out there that people haven't found yet. Though everyone does need a Vario radar. I love that thing. All right, guys, come on. Up, Briggs, come on. I've got the top 500. Nice one. So it is possible to do a Ventoux and chill ride. Come on, Mitchopolis. You got it, mate. Come on. Jump it. There we go. Get a few positions. Good job. 219, okay. 30-day PR. What happened to yesterday? Crawl. What was yesterday? That was 123, 125 or something. Stay here, we'll do a lap. What was that? Look, it didn't save my yesterday's time. Brutal. Though it still remembered I got the badge though, so riddle me that. How did it know that I've already got the badge? So I've already gone up there, but it can't record a time. Mysteries. We need Zwift X-Files. Where's Mulder and Scully? That wasn't too bad. So it's all about gearing. That wasn't 100% trainer. Obviously the virtual dream drive gearing there on Stage's bike. That was cool, but that was possible to do. That's 21k. Hour 42. Solid ride, but it's not unbearable. Oh, yes. Hang on. Let me just stretch that out. It's a bit unbearable. As with anything, you make it as hard as you want to go. Even the most boring flat course can produce the hardest racing. Hey, another verified rider. Vic Clark. Where's my ride-ons? Now the downhill's about, what, 15 or 20 minutes downhill, so I'm going to be hanging around doing the downhill. So if you've got any questions, fire away, any observations. Yeah. I'll be hanging out in chat, enjoying the free Ks. And we'll see if the drops accumulate. I don't think the drops stop if you're not pedaling, don't they? But there was another event where they kept going. Let's see. No, so the drops stop. Oh. Jerry suffered up there today. It's interesting, the Zwift Riders Facebook group, everybody's typing away, oh, this is my time, and what a suffer fest. I won't be doing that again. But I do like that everyone's trying it at least. There's that carrot at the top of just getting it done, even if you just do it once. Yeah, you've got to pedal 15 minutes into the descent. Yeah, there is a bit of a flat area, isn't there? There's a small little dip. Not like Alp the Zwift where we can have a descent party. Now, unfortunately, we can't have a descent party today because it's a guest world. And unless you've got a world hack or something on, you can't choose ride with me at the start. Oh, I should have stood up more. I have a poor memory. I'll do it again for sure. Look, how I did it just then, that was fine. Well, relatively speaking, compared to yesterday. 9999 kilos in height, 120 centimeters. But if you were doing, say, 3x20 minutes, 4x20, big long time trial efforts, and you just needed something to push against, that climb's pretty cool. I tell you what, the views are, that's something different anyway. I mean, it's only a computer game, but it's pretty cool. There's the valley down there with all the... That's back where we did the other stages the other day. Erg intervals, yeah. So you can use a hill like this without erg mode if you want something to push back. For me, I'd give me sim mode any day. For years and years, we rode outside and... Hey, there's another dirt track. Haha. Rode outside and we used the terrain for our intervals. So we used, if you find a 5-minute hill, there's your 5-minute hill intervals. No need for erg. There's no erg outside. So when Zwift first came along without erg mode, we'd find a hill and do repeats. One of the very first group rides that I did for Zwift Oz. We did, I think, 10 laps of Watopia, just the standard hilly, just the standard little, the Watopia wall, is it? Just a small hill? 10 laps of that. It was a big group on one Wednesday night. And that was our workout. Cool fog. I should move my camera over a little bit, shouldn't I? I'm kind of in my own head. Kind of heart rate monitor that I use. Typically, I've used Wahoo tickers for ages and ages. Currently using some Polar heart rate straps they've sent over for me to have a look at. So the H10, Polar H10, which is a chest strap. But heart rate's a sole problem at the moment. There's no heart rates that are bad that I know. Well, I don't use any heart rates that are bad. Heart rate monitors. Can't go wrong with a ticker. The new tickers have the dual Bluetooth. I believe the new Garmin's have Bluetooth as well. I think they have dual Bluetooth for 2. Yeah. I did watch Lava Extreme yesterday. Yep, for sure. Yep, H10 for 2 years, nothing much to say. And that's the best recommendation you can have for a heart rate. It just works. I'd love to see heart rate monitors, the technology improve, and we get like ECG style stuff that you get from Apple Watches. But for beats per minute, I think they're all pretty much the sole problem. Wait, so I don't use erg mode. You can use erg mode if you like. I've always found for time trial efforts, in a time trial I have to choose the watts myself. I can't rely on the bike pushing back and me, it forcing me to do certain watts. So I think there's definitely a mental game of knowing your own pace out on the road. Because if you just get locked into being told what to do by your trainer all the time, you get out on the road, you're like, well, nothing's telling me what to do, I'll just back off a little bit, or you'll go too hard, or your pacing will be all off. You could easily do 5x5s up this hill, no problems. The gradient's quite consistent. Garmin heart rate straps fail after 12 to 18 months. They're expensive. Yeah, early on they did. The new ones should be a little better. Heart rate straps are probably the worst working conditions of any component that you have on your bike, if you think about it. They're sweaty all the time. Like my top at the moment is Sweatfest. Curtis, thank you for subscribing. If anybody's tuning in and isn't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out, helps things keep ticking along. And if you remember, many thanks again. Do have some membership options. If you want to contribute to the channel, a lot of people ask how can they contribute to the channel and thank me for the information I provided, etc. I don't have a donation button or anything, but there is a monthly subscription that you'll get a few little insights with. And you'll get a little llama next to your name in the chat. It's not much, but it does help me out. It really does. It's funny, somebody tried to take me apart the other day with, this person makes this piece of software and gives it away for free, and you charge this much money to have a little llama next to your name. And thanks for watching, mate. Block. It's funny, I have to block about 2 or 3 people per day. I'm a fucking help channel, for God's sake. Sorry, language. But it's the internet. So, I do understand a lot of people may not understand my motives of the channel to help others, share the fun. But it can be a little frustrating if people have different values to me in how they comment and interpret certain things. But in my house, in my backyard, which is this channel right here, I don't stand for any of that. And you'll get blocked and banned straight away. Hence, the chat is brilliant. I do appreciate everybody in chat. And the comments that stay online are helpful. And who it's not doesn't deserve to be there. Simple as that. My house. Not the hill for 100 k's per hour, no. Radio towers for that. Yep, David, you're on it. Max is getting chatty. Luke McKenzie, Total Rush says right on. Luke McKenzie, V Everested this very hill yesterday. 5 ascents, I think it was. I believe Luke, aka Skinny Luke, probably the first rider to V Everest this hill. Luke has posted up over on Reddit with that. So definitely search that up on Reddit if you're on Reddit, on Zwift, and give Luke a ride on for that. 5 times up. I did it once yesterday. Done for 24 hours. Even today, slogging up there, and what was that? An hour 40. That was chill, but it wasn't easy. Yeah, people understanding the channel or what work goes in. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of drive-by. I think probably 70% of my views are for people who aren't subscribed or first-time viewers who are jumping on finding out how to remove pedals from a bicycle. I've got a video I did years ago on how to remove pedals. The best way to remove, if you haven't seen it, seriously, GPLama, how to remove pedals. It'll blow your mind. That video does really well. So people will see those resource videos that I put up there that are evergreen. I got called out for talking too fast the other day. If you know me, if you know my cadence, you know that I talk fast. So people get that. Early on, people are like, who the hell is this guy? You bald, blah, blah, slow down. But people taking unflattering screenshots of my suffer face. Of course, who is that? And who would then post that to the Zwift Riders group? That's all good, mate, if I'm putting it out there. Hey, Maxi Moo. How you doing, bub? We're just chilling down. We're going down. Really fast. Yeah. I got my drink bottle. Max loves drink bottles. Here, you can have this one, bub. There you go. Movie star. You want this one? Tar. Yeah, he's dribbled all over it. It's not mine now. Bath time. Me too. Climbing shifter was good. A little bit of lag in those gear changes, or I just didn't notice the Dream Drive. Dream Drive for that was fantastic. I really dialed it in. Chris Froome of words per minute. I also ran on this climb. If nobody saw that before, I got off and ran over that barrier. Mark my words. I'm not sure where it was in the video, but that barrier was still across the road. Somebody posted that to the Zwift support forums the other day saying, oh, why is there a barrier? Here's Shameless video and there's a barrier across the road. And somebody from Zwift, I think Zwift are using the one single account to reply now. It's one Suji something or whatever. It's a weird username, but I think there's multiple people behind it, which is fair enough. You don't want to associate a person with a support account because the person will then I get queries every day about products and things. I get that. But they've written back saying, oh, we fixed that bug last time. I don't know why it's still there. And I saw it in Ed's stream, and we saw it again there today, so something hasn't been fixed. It's not a showstopper, it's pretty funny. But there's just little things like that. What speed are we on? 82 k's an hour? Yeah, drops the feather. There's a waste of time. Was that the feather that I got at the top again? Is that 2 feathers? I'd rather a pair of gloves. How do I think it compares to the actual Mont Ventoux, James? I'll have to ask Von that because I've never ridden this. But Von, standing right next to me now, has. But Von hasn't ridden this one. Von, you're going to have to ride it. Yeah, what about you, Max? No, Max has taken my bottle apart. Yeah, look, it's something different. The visuals are good. The effort's good. Look, it's about, look, at the end of the day, we are stationary indoors pedaling on spin bikes. It gives us a carrot though, and as I said earlier on at the top, like later on the ride at the top, it's pretty cool that people who had never considered riding this far up a big mountain will do it. It's just something to get there. Yes, we'll be at the TDU, absolutely, Clifford, every year. Love the tour down under. Fingers crossed with the Rhone and South Australia opening their borders to us filthy Victorians. Ever do mountain biking in real life? Not a fan. No, Ted, I haven't gotten to mountain biking. I did some 24-hour, what did we want? Enduro, 24-hour enduro. I can ride mountain bike. I grew up riding all types of bikes, so it's no hassle jumping on one, half shredding the trails. I'm not fully sick. I only go half send, not full send. But we did some at Mont 24 in Canberra a few years back. That's a bit of fun. But it was one of those things where I was right into time trialing at the time, and I really didn't want to get into the mountain bike tech and get so obsessed by mountain bike tech and all that. Nice ride and shit. Oh, is Lavrek doing a chill ride? Cool. Look, that dude could chill at 350 watts and still talk. Real Ventoux. Someone commented on my ride yesterday. They did the ride yesterday in real life, and it was 32 degrees Celsius. Look at our descent crew. Sweet. And like blowing a gale, like huge winds. We'll do it one day. We'll do it one day. Unfortunately, the DCR GPL road trip, and I think Des was going to be involved this year if he could have, to Eurobike. It's not happening because, well, the Rhone's taken over. But yeah, when Ray and I get together and Des and the crew, we go for some decent rides. Ray and I did the, was it Stelvio the other year. Go bunch, look at this. Hey Maxie, that was my bottle. What's the best Dan approved bike mask? Oh, we got tunnel. Yeah. Oh, tunnel. Oh, look at that. There's some graphic clipping. Oh. All right, Dream Drive. There we go. See, Dream Drive comes into its own. So I've got the single climbing shifter on the Stages bike at the moment. So up here, like I've installed for my Di2 on my real bike, so I can climb. So I haven't got the camera down low enough, but I can go up and down 1 or 2. I need to install the other climbing shifter because it comes with a 2-pack, as opposed to Biggie Smalls. The 2-pack comes with the second climbing shifter that I can put on the left, so we can do the jumps in Dream Drive. So you can see on screen here. I think I jumped 5 at a time. Oh, how fast was that around the corner? Who's that on the Tron? Flying. Don't need a mask whilst exercising. Yeah, I think it's common sense. That's, and look, I'm not against it. I won't get political, but my heart goes out to Dan Andrews and how hard he's working. Right or wrong, the dude's working hard, and it's not just him; it's a whole team of people. It's interesting in politics that they yeah, Max. There's the part you have to pedal, isn't it? They associate decisions and policy, and see, everyone there hasn't pedaled. That's where they stop. See a group. Where it's like, it's Dan's decision to do this. It's his decision to do this, rather than it's a group of, I believe there's a group of people who would make decisions, but they have to pin it on a person. It's all good. Look, Victoria, yeah, things are going backwards. Things aren't good. That's why this week I sort of took a step back from a lot of my other videos and just went, we might be here for the long haul. So a little bit of renovation here in the Llama Lab. There's a few deliveries this week, so expect some content next week and the week after. There's always a few weeks lead in for new toys. Yeah, tough times. But in Victoria, so yeah, sorry, behind that, Victoria at the moment, the state that I'm in, especially Melbourne, if you're watching from overseas, the corona cases have gone up and up and up, like crazy amounts, like 3 or 4 times worse than it was before. Melbourne's in soft lockdown, is it? So it's only, you can go outside for work, essential things, or exercise. And I'm sure people are being pretty creative with their, yes, I need to exercise. And today it came out with they have to wear masks outdoors. Not whilst running. Obviously not while riding either. I wouldn't be riding in a bunch. It's just, yeah, look. It's good to get on Zwift, isn't it? An escape. Bit of exercise, it's all good. Yeah, and it's disappointing to see the comments on social as well. I think, is it called Karen or is it called Twitter these days? It just seems to be Karens and Kevins. Someone saying that they don't want to wear a mask in their car. Sure, you don't need to, like common sense. But anyway, interesting times. Women's race yesterday, absolutely. The women's Tour de France stuff, brilliant. If you haven't tuned into the Zwift Tour de France races, yeah, watch the women's race. They race hard. I think they respect the competition. Not saying the guys don't respect the competition, but I think, I mean, the guys cycling is at this level anyway, so they get a lot provided, but the women have been provided with something they haven't had before, an opportunity to do something different. They're making the most of it. Great racing, good efforts, and the fact that they're not just going for the win, it's points based. So people are even racing for 25th place. They're still going flat out. It's awesome. Yeah, and the Aussies are doing well. Aussies always do well. We're proud to be Aussies. Are we proud to be Victorian? I don't know about Victorian at the moment. All right, 2 hours, we're done. Good chill ride. And back to the beach. The Zwift Race Review Edition is fantastic, the website for that. However, because it's what, a minute or 2 behind the real action on screen, it's hard to use both. We have spiders the size of chihuahuas. Yeah, absolutely. We have, it's funny, I've had a spider splat into my face once. I've killed the spider and its goo just, I was like, anyhow, what's another spider story? Oh, when Max was only a few months old, he was between us in bed and I just felt something brush my leg, and my instinct is like, it's always a spider. Something brushes your leg, and it's always just, I can't say hair, not my hair anyway. I've instinctively grabbed something and threw it. It was a spider. In bed, between Max, who was only a few months old at the time. We have spiders. It's not too bad though. We have snakes. We have to bunny hop snakes every now and then. But unless you're out, it's like criminals and drug dealers. You don't mix with them, usually they're okay. Same with the Australian wildlife. Just don't mix with it. Usually you'll be okay. Oh, we can't talk about Australian track cycling. That's a management issue. Yeah, no. Different times at the World Champs, hey. Different times. That's okay, we're tapering for the Olympics that didn't happen. That's all good. You're made of atoms, atoms never touch you, so you never touch anything in your existence. Oh mate, you just touched my heart with that comment though, come on. Cheapest power meter, wow. Okay, I'm going to rip this up to 45 kilometers. We'll just tick over to 45 Ks to cool the legs down from the hard riding I didn't do. The hard riding I did yesterday. There's no such thing as a cheap power meter. There's no such thing as a cheap, tasty lunch either. Look, there are... Look, single-sided left Shimano power meters are accurate for what they do. They measured single-sided and double it. People say they're not accurate. They're accurate for what they measure. If you're left-right wobbly, no. So I'd have no hassles for people to, as a first power meter, stages left, 4 eyes left, in peak left. What have I got on now? There's stages left, right on this bike. For what you want. They're under $500 everywhere, I think. Aciomas, there you go. Not the cheapest though, Aciomas. But for a good dual power meter. Acioma Duos, yep. Thoughts on the 4-eye power meter, one-sided, dual-sided? 4-eye single-sided, no problems. 4 eyes dual-sided on the Shimano crank. Not something I can use to test other power meters against. For a number of reasons. Specifically the right side issue with that crank design. It's not the pod, it's not 4-eye, it's just the technology on that crank. I have tested a 4-eye power meter on an FSA crank, left and right. Perfect, fine. So, Aerofly, haven't tested. Now tell me, Aerofly, that wasn't the Valve power meter, was it? Don't do that to me. There's an Avio power meter that I'm looking at getting, which is a single left crank. But technology designed for power meters, it's pretty much a solved problem. And the hairs that we split as reviewers and experience sharers, we're splitting hairs between a few percentages and things like that. I mean, the IQ squared power meter was pretty good. It just doesn't exist for everyone else. That's the problem they have. The Valve one, yeah, no. Won't be touching that one. The Aciomas are the pedals, yes. Got stolen. I've never heard of a set of Aciomas getting stolen. If someone's stealing a pair of pedals, it'd be easy to steal the bike. Then crank off the pedals. I wouldn't leave the bike out of your sight. Well, we're over schedule, but we hit the goal today. That was over 200, which was good. And a lot of good chat, which is what I was here for, which I couldn't really get involved in yesterday because I was in the hurt box. Given I have to finish on round numbers, we're going to 46 Ks. Complete opposite side of the... I'm the complete opposite side of the world from everyone, which kind of works in my favour. My work day technically is when everyone else is sleeping, so nobody watches the channel. The views dip down, but then at the night time, it's busy with comments and emails and things. Stolen at events. I still wouldn't leave your bike where you can't see it. Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't ridden Mont Ventoux, it is possible to do it as a chill ride. Just bring drinks, bring bananas, bring gels, and bring your friends like I have today. I appreciate everyone coming along for that ride. Didn't hurt as much as yesterday. That was... I had a target, I went over it, and I paid the price. We see a lot of people doing over 300 watts up that climb though. That's good going, really good going. I'd love to be back there. But, as I said before, what's fatherhood? It's 50 watts. That's me just being lazy. Triathlon events. Yeah, okay, yeah, potentially triathlon events. But do note that with the Acioma pedals, you do register the ID of the pedal to Acioma when you first activate the pedal. So if someone's going to be stealing them, they could track who they are. And if somebody, they could also blacklist the pedals. So if they then load the Acioma pedal and it's with the blacklisted ID, I'm not sure whether they've done this or not, but it's absolutely possible. I'm going to stop here. They could disable that technology. So if you load the Acioma app to change your crank length or anything, they could say, flagged pair of pedals. There's no reason why they couldn't do that. We saw 4Eyes trying to implement the Chipolo technology for community-based tracking of lost devices. We couldn't get that to work. Bit of a marketing thing, kind of cool. Potential for tech. Hang on, stop my dual recording here. But things like with the call home, even the Stages bike, this little app there is calling home to Stages. Stages doesn't know how far I've ridden that bike when that app is open. So value add, which costs the company not a lot, but value add to the consumer could be there. Favero should be doing something like that. Can I bring Max a towel? It's bath time, everyone, and I won't be streaming that. All right, we're good. Again, thanks everyone for dropping by. Second time at Mont Ventoux. Well, first time according to those stats. What was with that? But anyway, it's on the internet, so it did happen. And it will be on Strava in a few minutes, so if you've got a few seconds, give that one a thumbs up. If you've ridden Alpe de Zwift, Alpe de Mont, my brain's gone. Tag me, I'll give you a ride on over on your Strava. Have a good day, everyone. There's a few more events coming up this week, which will take into account this course and also the Paris course, which is happening tonight. So if you need to get those badges, you'll get at least one badge from the community ride coming up this week. So we might do, I've got a live stream the Champs-Élysées, don't I? Let's do that this week sometime. We'll see you then, if not before, with another video. Anyway, have a good day, have a good evening, and avoid the Rhone. It's not a good thing. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you soon.